Traditionally, if I would want to stream some event data into my lakehouse architecture on Databricks, it would most typically look like this. You have your edge devices producing the event data, something like a sensor measuring temperature. And then in most of the cases, you would bring this data into a message bus layer. So something like Kafka, like Azure Event Hubs, like AWS Kinesis. And then on the Lakehouse side in Databricks, you would have a Spark structured streaming job that is reading from this message bus and writing the data into the Delta tables. And this still definitely makes sense for many use cases, especially if you have also other applications reading from this same Kafka stream to also consume the data in near real time. But if your solely target is the Lakehouse architecture, you can now with Zerobus Ingest simplify this whole architecture, because you can completely eliminate this step in between. So you don't need to maintain this message bus and maintain your Spark structured streaming pipeline to read from this message bus, which also has to be up and running 24/7 if you really want to have near real time. Instead, you can now use Zerobus Ingest to just directly push data into your Delta tables in Databricks. There are different ways to do so. In this video, we will focus on the Python SDK. So we will look into how we can directly push our data into Delta tables. And we see that it will be there in near real time. This feature is currently in gated public preview and will be available for everyone very soon. If you want to try it out right now, reach out to your Databricks account team and then they can enable it for your workspace. All right, so we move over to Databricks, and the first thing that we do is we open the SQL editor, and then we will create our target table where we want to stream the data into. So we will create a catalog, we will create a schema, and then we create the actual table, and we can now already go ahead and execute this. And there we go. And as you see, this is a normal Delta table. So there is nothing special about it. We just created this table called air quality with a device name, with the temperature, humidity, as well as a timestamp. And this will be our target table where we will push data into using Zerobus Ingest. And we can query from this table to see that it is currently empty. And this will change in a bit once we start ingesting data here. Next step for us is to create a service principal, so a technical user within Databricks that we will then use to authenticate against Databricks and to push data into this table. For this, we move over to the settings right here. We go to the identity and access, and then we see here the service principals, and click here into manage and add service principal, add new, and then we can provide the name right here. We call it Zerobus Ingest sensor demo. We add it right here, and then we can search for it again. We click into it and we can generate a secret, because this is the OAuth secret that we will need in our client that will push the data into this table so that it can securely connect, generate new tokens whenever needed automatically, and we don't need to handle the token refresh and things like that ourselves. So we generate a secret here, we can give it a lifetime, and there we go. We get a secret and a client ID, and we should copy over this secret here right now, as we will need it in a second. Now there's one more thing to do before we go ahead and write our client. We have to provide the proper permissions to our table, to this service principal that we just created. And for this, we click into the catalog, go into the permissions, and grant to our service principal the required permissions. So we search for it right here, select it. The service principal requires the following permissions. It needs use catalog. And then on the schema side, we need to grant to the same service principal use schema. And then on the table level, all the service principal would need is, we select it here again, all what the service principal needs is select as well as modify. Cool, now we confirm this, and now the service principal has all the access needed to push data to this table. So we can go ahead with the actual setup of the client. To do that, we need to install the Databricks Zerobus Ingest SDK first, as we will look into the Python SDK approach. We see it's already installed in my case. Now the first thing that I do here is I export the Databricks client as well as the secret as environment variables. And this is what we just have generated for the service principal within Databricks. And this way I don't have to hard code it anywhere in my environment. So now we will be executing the following code right here. We will be using this generate protobuf function that is part of the SDK to generate, as the name indicates, a protobuf definition of our Unity catalog table. And for this, we specify the Unity catalog endpoint, which is essentially our Databricks workspace URL. And we provide the client ID and secret ID of the service principal that we just exported as environment variables, provide the table name, and then how the output file should be called. And we had a small typo here. And then we see we have successfully a file generated. And indeed, we see here this record.proto file. We can have a small look into it. And this is what was generated by this function. So we could have also just generated this ourselves, but this small helper function did this based on the schema of our table, because the SDK is using protobuf to transmit the data in binary format, and therefore we need to provide this protobuf definition. Now let's actually switch from this ugly terminal into a proper IDE to execute the next steps. Now I am in VS Code and I just opened the folder and the file that was just created. And now we need to implement the actual client that will push the data into the Unity catalog table. But first, there is one more thing that we need to execute in the terminal. You also find all of this in the Databricks documentation. We also need to install this gRPC tool here, which is essentially our protobuffer compiler for Python. And then we need to execute this command right here. And this will generate for us a file that we will need. There we go, successfully created. And then you see here, we have the compiled protobuf file in Python. All right, time to create the actual client. For this, we just call this client.py. And we paste this code from the Databricks documentation, because you don't have to do the work if someone already did it for you. This is now utilizing the Zerobus SDK to push data into our table. We need to adjust a couple of things here. So we need to specify this server endpoint, workspace URL, table name, again, client ID, secret ID. For the client and secret, I will just use the environment variable. And now I also update all of the other things here. Here I need to put my workspace URL that I just copy pasted. Here I need to change two things. For the server endpoint, I need to put here my workspace ID, and then I need to put here the right region where this workspace is deployed. In this case, it is correct for me. I provide the right table name right over here. All right, now for the rest of the code, I need to tweak a few things here and there, because I don't want to go with this sample code that was provided here, because this is just an example here how it could work, but I already see that I would like to do things a bit differently. So here in this case, we are just ingesting some sample records, and you can also follow along and do it like this. In my case, I would like to ingest data from a real sensor, and this is also part of another video where I will show you the end-to-end setup. But what I have done here is I have connected my Raspberry Pi actually to a real temperature sensor, and we would like to use our real sensor data here. And I also have a slightly different schema here because I also have the timestamp. So I need to tweak the things here a bit. So I will just delete this part here for now. And what I will do is I implement a small function called get sensor data. In this case, this is fetching real sensor data from an API that I expose on my Raspberry Pi. You don't have to understand all of the details in this video. I will upload a separate video where I walk you through the whole setup end to end. For this video, all you have to know is in this function, we are getting real sensor data from our Raspberry Pi. Then I see here, we also need to tweak this one as it is called air quality in our case. Now I will configure a few other parameters. I will give it a device name. This will be one of the column values that I also would like to send. And then now I'm pasting here a bunch of code. And what this is essentially doing, it is a continuously running loop, which is getting the humidity and temperature data from my get sensor data function, which is again getting real sensor data from my Raspberry Pi. Then I am creating my records here by using the device name, using the temperature and humidity that I extracted from the sensor, as well as setting a current timestamp. And then all I have to do is to execute stream.ingest record and pass the record along. And that's it. So this is the most important part here. You could tweak this however you like and send whatever data you like. You just have to make sure your protobuf that you generated initially matches the schema of your target delta table, and then you can do here whatever you want. In my case, I'm reading real sensor data in and ingesting it like this. Cool, and that's already it basically. Right, so once you have everything set up, it's super simple. So we save this, we open our terminal again, and now maybe let's look at it side by side here. On my left hand side, I have my script. On my right hand side, I have Databricks, and maybe let's do one final check here. So I will query this table here called air quality. We see we have no records in here. Now I will start the execution of our client right here. It will establish the stream connection, and then it will start sending data. And now we can already go ahead and select count on this table. And there we go. We're receiving data in near real time, so I can keep refreshing this right here. Typically, the latency, what I experienced is like 1 to 5 seconds until the records are there. So it's near real time ingestion. And we can also have a look here and query the actual table. And in this case, I'm ordering it by the timestamp. Maybe let's make this one bigger now again. So the script is still running in the background. And now we can keep querying this, and we see the actual sensor data updating. And now what I can do, as I have connected this to a real sensor, is I can basically increase the temperature. And then if I re-execute this statement right here, you'll see that all of the records now will have an increased temperature. We have now already over 500 records, and all of this without a message bus in between, just using the new Zerobus Ingest functionality and the Python SDK for it. All right, and that's all that I wanted to show you for this video. So we have seen how we can set up Zerobus to ingest data into Databricks directly using the Zerobus Python SDK, allowing us to push data directly into Delta tables without the need to have a message bus in between and without the need to have a continuously running Spark structured streaming pipeline on the Databricks side. We just push the data and it's available there in near real time. In the next couple of weeks, I will also upload this end-to-end example where I will actually also show you how you can set up the real sensor capture, as well as how you can then use this input to visualize it in Databricks in near real time in the Databricks app, also leveraging Lakebase, and how to talk to your data also within this dashboard. So stay tuned. If you enjoy the content, please leave a like and also comment and let me know what else you would like to see. And then I see you in the next video.